For those of you who don't know me, my name is Nancy with GiftsHQ, and thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to start a really simple craft. It's a cutting process called decoupage, and decoupage has been around for a really long time. It's one of the oldest forms of crafts, and it can be done with any basic household material that you may already have right here in your home. So let's get this started. Okay, to start this project off, you'll need some basic materials. We're going to be using alcohol, just rubbing alcohol, Mod Podge. This is the dishwasher safe Mod Podge, a sponge, and some scissors. And you'll also, of course, have your fabric and whatever your choice of your base material is. So, like I said, in this case, I'm going to be using the glass plate. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to want to turn your plate upside down. Okay. And the first thing that you want to do is take a little bit of the alcohol. And you're just going to want to clean the plate. And you're just making sure that you don't have any fingerprints or particles or anything that might kind of ruin your decoupage. You want to make sure that you start off with a clean surface. So just gently clean that through. And then just kind of set it to the side to let it dry on its own for a little bit. Doesn't take really a lot of time at all. The second thing you're going to want to do is you're going to take your material. This is the material that I'm choosing to do. And my material is pretty light. So, everything kind of varies. You might have some other materials that are a little bit heavier and some that are lighter. The only difference that I've found is when you are using a lighter material, go really light on the Mod Podge. If you're using a thicker material, it's okay to go a little bit thicker on the Mod Podge, but just don't go too thick because it's going to take a lot longer to dry, and you really want to make sure that it really comes out clear and that your images kind of come through. Now, one thing to note on the Mod Podge that I'm using, this is the dishwasher safe Mod Podge, and this Mod Podge requires your item to sit and curate for 28 days. After the 28 days, Mod Podge says that you can put it in your dishwasher on the top rack. Now, I'm a little hesitant of it. Some people have done it, but I'd rather just hand wash it clean, just because, it's just too pretty to ruin. So when you decided on your material, you're just going to want to cut your material. The easiest way to cut it really is just to go ahead and take your plate and just kind of put your material on top and just cut out around it. Just so that you want to make sure that you are covering the entire plate. Okay, so I've already have cut out my material. As you can see, it's not a very pretty cut, but it really doesn't matter because you just want to make sure that you're covering the entire surface. Okay, now from here, all you're going to want to do is now take your Mod Podge. You're going to open it up. I'm going to take our brush. Now I'm just going to dip it right into the Mod Podge. You can pour it into a little jar. It's totally up to you. And I'm going to hold my plate on the underside of the plate. And then I'm just going to gently go around the plate and start applying it. Now, one thing you want to be sure of is you want to make sure that you get the edges really well, because you want your material to really cover the edges so that it doesn't come off of the plate. Okay. Okay, very simple. Then I'm just going to put my plate down, set this over to the side, and I'm going to take my material and I'm going to take the pretty side of the material and face it down because I want the pretty side to show on the plate when it's facing right side up. Okay, so pretty side down, just kind of drape it over. And one of the things you're going to want to do when you drape it, just take your fingers really lightly and just kind of press down on it. And you're just really just taking out the wrinkles. You don't want any wrinkles on your plate. You don't want any air bubbles. You do it very lightly to begin with. And then once you're pretty sure you don't have any air bubbles, then you can press down a little harder. There you go. Now I've got a little area here that seems like it's not picking up much Mod Podge, so I'm just going to go ahead and reapply a little more. And you can totally do this if yours doesn't seem to like stick. Just go ahead, lift up the material, and then put it in again. Okay. And that's it for right now. Now you just kind of have to sit and wait and let it dry. It doesn't really take too long, maybe about, depending how much Mod Podge you put on there, you can say maybe 30 minutes. I would give it 30 minutes to dry. And then once you've dried, you're going to be ready to cut the material edges off. And you'll pretty much end up with a really beautiful plate. We're almost there. This is that easy, trust me. So I'm going to go ahead and let this one dry. And I have one that I've already pre-started, so I can show you that one. So this is kind of the same material that I was using on the smaller plate. It's just a larger plate. Did the same exact process, and this one's already dry. So as you can see, when I turn it over, you do see the design of the material onto the plate. So it makes it a really pretty, fun plate to do, but we're still not done. So we need to finish this off. And what we're going to do now is cut around the edges here. And we're basically going to just trim it to the size of the plate. So I'm just going to take my scissors and you just kind of run it right against the plate and just start cutting. I do it in a little bit of an angle just so I can grab the material underneath. And this is just to kind of get rid of the excess. We're going to do something to clean this up a little bit more in a few. Okay, so just kind of get rid of our excess. And here you have a really rough edge here. So what we want to do now is we want to smooth out the edges and also really glue them down. We want to make it solid so it's just one piece and you don't have these little edges that are sticking out of the material, right? We want to kind of fasten that together. So what I'll do is I'll take a little bit of Mod Podge, go around the edges and just kind of press it in to make sure that your edges are sealed. So come back with my Mod Podge here. And you don't need too much. It's just for the edges. Run it a little bit on the edge. I can get a little bit messy on this because I like to really seal it. So I kind of use my fingers, pat them down, press it, make sure that it's sealed. See how the fabric kind of folds over? So you just want to do that and then kind of just hold it just for a few minutes. Let the glue settle in. And you're going to run that all around your plate. Okay. Once you have that completely sealed, then we're going to do a little bit more cleanup. So let's just run this a little bit more around the sides. Like I said, I kind of use my fingers sometimes on this. And it's good also to just check to make sure you don't have any bubbles or any wrinkles, because you want to make sure that this is a clean one, because any wrinkles or anything that will come out on the other side, and you don't want to see that, so use your fingers for that. Okay. We're almost there. There we go. So I'll just continue to go around the plate, pushing down the edges. Some of them may or may not, kind of adhere, but don't worry about it. As long as most of it is there, you're going to clean it up after. So then once I've done that, I'll just let it sit for another maybe 20 minutes or so. And I'll just set it down. Okay. And this craft just requires a lot of patience and some time. But it's just so simple. Anyone can do this. And just remember, you can use any material. Like I'm just using this fabric here. There's all kinds of fabrics you can do for the holidays, or, any of your favorite colors, that you want to just share with your family and friends. Okay, so we're back. And it looks like play has completely dried off. So I think we're ready now for the next step. So what we're going to do, and this is something that I forgot to say in the beginning as one of the materials you're going to need, is sandpaper. Just one little sheet, nothing major, just a very light sandpaper. Because what we're going to do is we're going to use the sandpaper to kind of go through edges of the plate just to really make it a clean seal and also to make it look a little bit more pretty. So I'm just going to fold it in half so it's just easier for me to work with. You can get this sandpaper from any hardware place, Home Depot. You can even pick it up at the dollar store. And this one is just the abrasive paper number 80, but you can pretty much just use any sandpaper as long as it's a light one. So I'm just going to run through the sandpaper through the edges. And again, I'm just kind of doing some cleanup. So when we did our initial cut, we did a really rough cut. So this is now just going to seal it to make sure that everything's nice and even. And just making sure that it looks pretty. It's really. So I'll just continue. You might see some little fibers coming up, and that's great because then we're just making sure it's nice and even all the way around. So this will make it look nice and clean and even out. Just pretty much go all the way around on your plate. Make sure you get every spot. Doesn't have to be 100% perfect here. Okay. That's it. So now that we've sanded it out, you see that the edges are nice and clean. It looks like it's one sealed edge all the way around. So now the second part to this is that we're going to apply a second coat of Mod Podge, and this coat is going to be on top of the fabric. And this is what's going to seal the whole thing together. So I will grab my Mod Podge again. And again, not too heavy, not too light, just kind of keep it in the middle. And you're just going to apply it. Start in the middle and just kind of work your way down. And then I'll work my weights through the sides. If you've got a little turning table, it makes it just a little bit easier to kind of turn and glide as you go around. Now you don't have to worry about any wrinkles or anything like that because we kind of already taken care of that. But you're just making sure that you've covered the entire plate with the Mod Podge. Alrighty. And that's it. Pretty simple, huh? So what you will end up having, and I'll just kind of lift this up to show you, you'll have your nice little decorative plate. And now I kind of have a little matching set, but you can do these, again and again, and you can have a whole table setting for your guests, especially for the upcoming holidays. You may want to have some decorative plates that really do make it look really nice, and people will really admire your plates. So it's a great way to kind of dress up your table a little bit. So, you can use any type of fabric. Some people have also used napkins to do that as well. There's all different things that you can use. So, be creative. These are just some of the samples I was able to make. I made some plates with fabric that are more festive for the upcoming holiday. I also added a little twist by adding a decal that I made using a Cricut machine. So let me know in the comments if you want me to show you how to personalize your plate, and I can make a quick video for that. Now that we've gone through the process, I would love to see what you gifted crafters make. So please upload your pictures on any of the social media sites on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or whatever you're comfortable with. And tag me or send me the link, and I might showcase it in one of my future videos. I hope you really enjoyed this. I loved putting this together for you all. It's just a quick and easy way to dress up your table for any occasion. I appreciate you spending the time with me, and I would love to see your comments. So if you enjoyed my video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you'd like to be part of the community, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you can be notified of my future videos. Thanks again, everyone, and hope to be crafting with you soon. Bye.